Hello everybody and welcome back to another chess video, and I am sorry I did not post last week. I was very busy and then I was having issues with the chess software. And today we are doing what is considered one of the hardest checkmates to master, and then there's also going to be the opening to the opening series tomorrow, which will be, I'm not so sure what opening yet, and then there'll be an extra video Tuesday, which is actually Halloween. So there's going to be 3 videos this week instead of 1 to hopefully make up for missing last week. So anyways, once again, we are doing the knight and bishop, which is considered by some the hardest checkmate to master. And for this one, you're definitely going to want to practice on your own time. Definitely pull out a chessboard and just kind of move the pieces around until you get the hang of it, especially the beginning, because the beginning focuses on basically pushing the king to a corner, and I'm not very good at that either. So you definitely want to get better than you'll see me do, because I make a few moves that aren't the best, or there's no point in doing. So you're definitely going to want to practice the beginning and just kind of pushing the king to a corner. Now before I start, you can actually only forcefully push the king and checkmate him into h1 and a8 because your bishop is light squared. And so for example, if your bishop was dark squared, you'd only be able to checkmate in a1 and h8 since those are dark squared. And like you won't checkmate exactly there always, but around that corner, like in the maybe a7 for example, or b8. So anyways, so yeah, we're gonna start off. I'm not gonna explain this too much because again, this is just you practicing. I wish I could explain it, but there's no best way to do it. You just kind of have to see what it is for the scenario. One quick thing I do want to mention, as you can see right here when I move my bishop over, this actually forces the king back a row. So that's just a little, it's not really a concept, just kind of something to keep in mind if you want to push the king back one. And so the rest you're just gonna kind of want to practice on your own here. As you can see, I'm somewhat starting to do it. And so generally the kings will stay in the opposite corners of the ones that you'll want to checkmate in. So they'll try to stay in the dark squared corners for this example. So once you bring your king somewhere around here, you're gonna want to start kicking the king out because you don't like the king in the dark squared board, because obviously you just don't want him there. You can't checkmate him there, otherwise he'll just go back and forth. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to start bringing your knight over, as you can see right here, moving the knight to f7. This now kicks the king out of the dark colored square, sorry. And this is actually very important because now that he's moved out, he can no longer go back there. And now we're going to want to continue this. And so we're going to want to bring our bishop. But obviously, if we brought our bishop over, he would take it. It would be a draw. So we can't do that yet. We're going to make a really annoying move. Just kind of chill. He'll have to move over. Obviously, he can't go over here. And then he can't go any of these spots either. So once he goes to e8, now we can bring our bishop over. And make sure you pay attention here. And so now we're going to make a knight move over here. And in case you didn't notice, that was his only move to e8. He couldn't have moved here, here, or like any of these spots. So anyways, after he moves, we're going to move our knight over. He's going to move over one more time. If he moves back, that's fine. Then we'll just simply continue. And so now we're going to bring our king over. And so once he does this, now we're going to start playing it very carefully. We're going to start trying to box in the king. And so first we're going to move our knight over, and you're going to want to use the knight and bishop. You're going to want to have them on the same colored squares, because when the knight's on the same colored square as the bishop, it takes the opposite colors, if that makes any sense. So since the bishop's on a light squared color, it'll defend the dark squares, and the bishop who's on a light square will defend the light squares. So as you can see, the knight and the king defending a few spots. The king may try to like break over, make it through, but obviously we're not going to allow that. Move the bishop over, and as you can see, we've kind of enclosed an area he can't really go through. So yeah, once he moves the king over, we're going to bring our king out, and as you can see, we are really starting to box in the places he can go, and he's obviously going to try to break through it, try to make an escape route somewhere around here. We're obviously not going to allow that. And so what we can actually, fun fact, I just kind of wanted to mention this, you can actually, generally speaking, you'll move the bishop to b5, but you can actually in this scenario move the knight to e6, and he'll have to move to e8, because if he moves over, then we'll just simply bring our bishop over. So yeah, that's just really cool. But we're actually going to focus on the bishop, and I think that the knight's actually faster, but you're going to do the bishop most of the time, so I want to explain it just in case you just have to use the bishop. So you're gonna do that. He's gonna be forced to move over. Obviously, once again, he can't cross over here, so he's gonna move over. We're gonna move our bishop in check, and once again, if he chooses to try to make an escape route and just try to escape along, then you can see it's right now he can't go anywhere. We just have to bring our knight in, and that would be checkmate. So yeah, so he'll move over to b8, hopefully give them the benefit of the doubt. And so now we're just gonna bring our king into the action. And as you can see, we've created a little box that we started off with. He could go to like almost 64 squares, like 60 or something, however many the king and the bishop and the knight took over. But now we've narrowed it down to 3 spots. Once he moves over, we're going to break it down to 2. So obviously he has 1 spot to go to, a8. And now we could make a move like bishop e6 in this scenario, but after the king moves here, there's not too much you can do, so I don't suggest it. And a move like this, I'd make a better move. Just kind of, you have to think about it. It's not always going to be exactly the same. For example, now a good move would be the king right here. As you can see, it now forces it over, and if you can see the checkmate in 2 or pause the video, it's not too hard to tell. You just simply move the knight over. This is check. King moves over, and now once we bring our bishop over, it is checkmate. Now you're definitely going to want to try this on your own, and there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. One concept that generally stays the same, if I can find it, is right along here, where you'll put the knight, and then you'll bring the bishop over, and then that. Those generally stay the same, but other than that, if you don't like this concept, that's perfectly okay. You can try to find another one that suits you better if you just don't get it or it's confusing, or if you have any questions, I will try to help you in the comments if you ask. Anyways, I hope you guys have an excellent day. Make sure to try this one on your own, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.